Hello guys, I hope everybody is doing good and everybody is preparing properly for the upcoming FRM exam. सबको मेरी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है, सबको मैं दिखाई दे रहा हूं. Can I get a quick confirmation on chat? I hope सबको सुनाई दे रहा है. There's no issue with the voice. Okay, so we're going to be starting out with the session. We're going to be talking about how you are supposed to prepare for the upcoming FRM Level 1 exam. Okay, and we are talking about the August attempt. We have already talked about the May attempt in one of the previous video. You can check in the description or you can check our YouTube channel where we're going to be talking about the May exam. But today I'm going to be focusing on the August exam. Now we are standing on 1st of April. We're standing on 1st of April and we are looking at the preparation for the exam. Okay, so if we look at that, so we have the entire April, then the entire May. So basically 1st of May, 1st of June, and then we have 1st of July, and then 1st of August. Okay, so I'm only talking till now for 1st of August. Okay, so roughly you have 4 months in your hand, and I'm going to talk from the perspective first. Okay, if you have not started your preparation, how should you go for the exam? If you have not even started your preparation, how should you plan? Okay, so you have roughly 4 months. Okay, there are like 62 chapters. Okay, and you have 4 books for your FRM Level 1 exam. Okay, now if you look at 4 months, okay, and 4 books, okay, a lot of people, what they do is I'll go with book, I'll go 1 book in each month. That is also a good strategy. But if you look at my way of looking at it, the 62 chapters are interconnected across the 4 books. So looking at 1 book each month is slightly tough. So what you should be looking at is you should be looking at buckets of chapters. Okay, so for example, okay, even if you target in a very simple manner, even if you target 20 chapters in 1 month, okay, and I'm talking about 20 chapters in 1 month with solving, this is an important part, with solving, then it is achievable for you to clear the exam. Okay, it is achievable to complete everything by July end, and then you have roughly around 10 days to plan your mock papers or do some quick revision and then go for the exam. Okay, so we'll first talk from the perspective of anybody who is starting the preparation now. Now when we're talking about 20 chapters, okay, so ideally how should you prepare? So the general basic principle that I give is that on weekdays from Monday to Friday, okay, try to complete those 5 chapters either by reading the textbook. If you have the access to the videos, focus only on those 5 chapters. Don't worry about anything else. So in a weekday, ideally you should be looking at those 5 chapters, and on Saturday and Sunday, okay, only solve. Okay, only solve. That means you are going to revise the textbook. Now don't watch the video, just read the textbook and solve the question bank, okay, of the chapter. Revise the textbook and solve the question bank of the chapter. Okay, so in 1 week ideally you should be able to complete, okay, in 1 week ideally you should be able to complete 5 chapters. Okay, if you are able to follow that, and don't worry about the overall 62 chapters, just 5 chapters. If you are able to do this, then in 1 month you will be in a position to complete 20 chapters roughly. Okay, suppose in the first month you are able to complete only 17 chapters. Don't worry, you are in a right trajectory. Okay, so focus on an average 20 chapters. So in 1 month, if you're not able to complete 20, say 17 or 18, that's okay, cover up in the next month. Okay, so broadly 20 chapter. What should be your strategy? In the weekdays, if you're working, you can dedicate 2 hours, 3 hours maximum, that's fine. Dedicate that to 2.5 hours and focus on completing that chapter properly. If you have the access to the video, watch the video. On weekends, only solve the question bank, and at least solve 30 questions for each chapter. Okay, at least solve 30 questions for each chapter, and when you're solving, only revise from the Kaplan-Schweizer book. Don't worry about any other book. Only revise from the Kaplan-Schweizer book and then go for the exam or go for the quiz. Okay, now which chapter ideally you should focus on. So we have an Excel sheet which I can share with you guys. You can reach us on our WhatsApp number, which is available right now on the screen. Just drop a message, I need a study plan, and we'll send you the Excel plan. Okay, but ideally what you should be doing in that 62 chapters, okay, roughly there are 13 chapters which are theory, and they are kind of standalone. Okay, when I'm saying standalone chapter, it basically means that those chapters has not much connection with the overall curriculum. Like for example, there is a chapter building block of risk management. It gives you the overview, but without doing this, I can still go and look at the derivatives. I can still go and solve bond valuation. Okay, so there are like those 13 chapters which you can do at the end. Okay, once you remove these 13 chapters, so roughly 49 chapters, okay, is what you should first focus on. So in the first 3 months, okay, that means April, May and June, focus only on these 49 chapters, and in the last month go for these 13 chapters, okay, in terms of solving also. So this is where the major crux is. Okay, and in these 49 chapters you will find majority of your book 3 and book 4 curriculum. Okay, majority of your book 3 and book 4 curriculum. That's how you should ideally plan. Okay, now if you have any query, please put it on the chat section. I'll be able to address. Okay, I solve question after watching video directly. Is that okay? See, my recommendation, ideal situation would be that you solve the question bank after a gap, because you get an opportunity to read the textbook. Because see, whatever video you are watching, even if you're watching my video, you need to have confidence on the Kaplan-Swetzer book. That is where the main exam is, right? So if you take a gap and then solve, okay, like as per my plan, it is going to be better. If you do not have that much time, then watching the video and taking say 2-3 hours ka gap and solving is also okay, right? So I hope everybody is with me till this point, and if there is any query, please put it on the chat section. Ajay, I've answered your query. Okay, so I was talking about the 49 chapters which ideally you should focus first, and next what should be your strategy once you reach end of July. Okay, suppose you have reached end of July and your exam is on 10th of August. Your exam is on 10th of August. Okay, so ideally this time is not very huge. Okay, you need at least 15 days to do your final revision and mock papers. But what you should be focusing on is, suppose your exam is on 10th, then keep 7th as your deadline, 7th of August. Okay, whatever solving of mock papers you want to do, okay, you should be doing only those mock papers only from the thought process of from the 1st of August till 7th. So mock papers solving has to be done from that 1st to 7th. And how many you should target? My suggestion is try for 3 mocks. Okay, and out of that 3 mocks, if you can solve say around 1 institute GAR paper, the latest one, that is more than sufficient. Okay, and then the next other 2 you can solve any institute. Like for example, if you're my student, we provide around 4 mock papers. Okay, so you can solve those. Now for students, okay, who have done some amount of preparation, they have already started solving. Right now they are not starting fresh. Okay, for them, okay, ideally, okay, for prepared students, prepared over here means they have done some preparation, they have started out with some preparation. Okay, now what they should be doing is they should be focusing on, okay, they should be focusing on completing everything by end of June. End of June should be their target of completing all chapters, okay, plus solving. If you are able to do this, okay, if you're in a position to do this, then focus on the first 15 days. Focus on first 15 days for revision plus sectional test. Revision plus sectional test. Okay. Then the last 15 days, I hope everybody is able to see and hear properly. The last 15 days, okay, focus on again one more revision plus solving, but in this case, try to solve important concepts. Try to solve important concepts. So I'll be coming out with a video, okay, of chapters of each book where there is important concepts I'm going to highlight. So try to cover those important concepts, okay? And then when you reach the end of July, okay, you can start with mock papers also, and you can even start the mock papers in the 3rd week of July. That's okay. 3 to 4 mock papers is what ideally you should be focusing on. Okay. So this is the status. Any queries as of now from the students, people who are watching me live? Any specific queries that we can expect? Any query with respect to preparation? Okay, few important things that ideally you should focus on. First point, like as per my plan, if you're starting now, okay, if starting now, okay, then also it is okay. So don't worry. Okay, lot of students, they feel, oh, am I late? Should I go for November? That's not the issue. Okay, 4 months is still good enough, but you should be focusing on every single day how much amount of time I'm going to dedicate. So roughly, okay, roughly daily, my suggestion is go for 2 to 3 hours. And I think so, if you're a dedicated student, even if you're working, this 2 to 3 hours is possible. Okay, it's possible. And on weekends, okay, on Saturday and Sunday, you can dedicate around 4 to 5 hours. This much ideally is required to go through the content properly, solve the question bank, and look at the wrong problems and all of that. Okay, whenever you are preparing, okay, whenever you're solving the chapter wise question, make a note. Okay, make a note of wrong answers, and also where you might have taken a calculated guess. Okay, so take a note of those calculated guess also, because this is where you might make some mistake at the end. So make sure that you are comfortable with all the wrong answers. Okay, you at least know where you made mistake, and the calculated guess also. Okay, because when you're doing the revision for the sectional test, for the mock papers, you have to come back to these wrong answers and do your revision. Okay, ideally to clear the exam, okay, clear the exam, my experience says that out of 100, you should be somewhere between 55 to 65. That should be your range. That should be your correct answers across the book. Okay, I'm saying across the book. It should not be the case that out of this 55 or 60, majority you're getting from book 3 and book 4, and you're not solving book 1 and book 2. Then you'll not clear. Okay, so ideally average of 55 to 60 is what you should be focusing on. The next important thing that you should note, okay, when you're looking at the bifurcation, okay, even suppose if I'm a student and I'm not good in book 2, so this is my book 1, this is my book 2, book 3 and book 4. Even if I am getting 4th quartile in this book and I'm able to manage second, there is high chances that you'll clear the exam. High chances. Okay, but ideally what you should be planning is to get all 2s. This is a very good scenario. But suppose you end up facing an issue and you're not comfortable in some content, try to make sure that book 3 and book 4 you're doing good. So suppose you're getting either 2 or 1 in these 2 books, and even if you're getting say around 3 or 2 like this, or 3 or 3, you're in a good spot to clear the exam. Okay, so that is what your strategy should be if you're not very well prepared. for the exam. Okay, focus on book 3, book 4 high weightage, try to do as much best possible, and also try to cover book 2 and book 1 as much possible. Okay, like 2 3 third quartile or second quartile, that's okay. Don't, there is no need you have to get first quartile. That is the strategy that I would suggest. Okay, if you're not performing well in the first and the second book. Okay, very important point is that don't ignore or don't underestimate book 1. Even though it is theory, my suggestion is at the end also please read the Kaplan-Schwager book. Okay, last 3 days read the Kaplan-Schwager book entirely. Okay, don't skip anything. Okay, even if you're not comfortable with 1 or 2 topics, just read it. Okay, don't try to read anything new in the last 3-4 days. Focus on reading Kaplan-Schwager book end to end. Okay, you might have mind maps, you might have some summary note, that's okay, but before the exam my suggestion is go and read entirely. Okay, so this is what my session was for preparation for your August exam. If you need that study planner, just drop me a message on this number with your name, okay, and your August exam, and ask for the study planner. We'll provide you with that. Okay, and I hope you like this session. Do like and share with your friends who are preparing for the upcoming FRM exam, be August or May. Okay, I'm going to be constantly putting out sessions like this. There's going to be a Q&A session also in the next week, which we plan to do. We are also going to come out with a session for FRM exam, entire what is happening in the FRM exam, how you should plan broadly for general information for students. Okay, in the last week also I'm going to be putting out some sessions for you guys to help you to prepare for the exam. So best of luck and do your best. You can clear the exam in the first attempt if you have a proper plan and proper strategy. Thank you very much guys for joining in.